everybody eventually has, in one way or another, make a decision and go into something that they're not very comfortable in. All these pathways kind of like come to a point, and you eventually have to see if your skill sets prepared you to go ahead and take this next step and like see if you pull it off. Much like for somebody that is diving off a high cliff or a high platform, there's a lot on the line and you have to face that danger, because there is a danger in this plunge.
Where'd the idea come from?
That's something that I've had envisioned in my head, and how it would give this feeling of a paused moment. Of a very complex and a very fast movement, but I took this idea, this idiom, and used that metaphor to make the sculpture, and I just envisioned in my head. So then I looked through the materials and what would work best. Some things will give the sensation of more space, and sometimes it just like reflects back, and your eye and sense of space is very much influenced by your surroundings. So in sculpture, you could kind of like play with people's senses, and I think that's very interesting. The other diver is diving into it, and it's more of like the bracing of the impact and going onto this kind of like other world. You're kind of like right at that moment of impact, and you enter this other world, and you just don't know what's on the other side. It's like more of like bracing for what's coming. I didn't intend it, but it is also like a bit the aspect of like what's on the other side when we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like bracing yourself. I used plaster and whatever found materials to just make the bulk of the pattern, and put it together with some glue, screws, and plaster, and made my molds from there. Once the molds are made, I poured the metal. Metal's poured, break the molds. Got to take out all the seams, the air vents, so it's a lot of grinding. Then the pieces have to go and fit together, you got to weld. And after the welding, more grinding. Eventually, you polish up to be a final product.